Hello guys, Nigel here with you, Nigel's Modelling Bench. Welcome back to the channel. So here we are now, part 19 of the build of this DeAgostini Ford Mustang GT500. Beautiful model that is in 1/6 scale. It's absolutely huge. If you're interested in getting one of these, have a look at the link down below in the description below this video. Click that link. Not only does that get you to their website, but it also means it shows them that I've got traffic going their way, which helps us all out because it means they'll want to send me more stuff, which is good, and I'll get to show it to you then. So here we are now, part 40, and in this video I'm going to be covering packs, sorry, not part 40, it's pack 40. I'm going to be covering packs 40, 41 and 42, and you'll see why in a second. But as usual, we look at the magazines. So, Shelby Cobra Daytona Coupe, seen one of these when I was in California in Irvine, absolutely beautiful looking car, lovely, lovely car. You can see there it's all coach built, bodywork and everything. Beautiful, built in Europe, the aluminium bodywork of the, aluminum bodywork of the remaining 5 of the 6 Cobra Daytonas that were built. It was added to their bare chassis in Europe under the supervision of Shelby American. I think they do a lot of work now in South Africa with these specialist cars. So here we are going into the build. Now, you've seen me do this a million times over. In fact, we've already done 3. So go back and look. If you want to see how to do this, go back and have a look. It's very easy. It needs a lot of strength. So if you are a youngster, you might want to consider asking an adult to do it. Or if you've got, weak fingers or whatever, or not control, then it is quite awkward getting those in there. But they do go in, and they go in with no damage or whatever, and it's simple once you know how. Go back and look at those videos, and you'll see me do that again. Large American trucks. We all love American trucks. I love them. In the United States, as in other big countries such as Canada and Australia, driving a long-haul truck often requires a long period on the road, and it is so much as a job as a way of life. They are absolutely beautiful. 1942 Freightliner. Look at that. Is that a Peterbilt? That's a Freightliner as well. So it looks like they got a license to show Freightliner trucks. And then there's Western. We've got Mack, Ford International, and then there's Peterbilt and Kenworth and all that. But they are absolutely gorgeous inside. I remember visiting my father in the States back in, I don't know, 79, maybe 1980 or something, I don't remember, and he took me around some dealers. We looked at the brand new trucks in the dealerships, and it's funny because when you see them in the dealerships, they're basically sat there, and it's a chassis with a cab, and the back end is sat on blocks, because when you buy the truck, you specify the engine, transmission, rear axles, all the extras inside. You don't go and buy a custom truck. Well, I'm sure they do sell them like that, but at the time you would actually specify axles, transmission, engine, all the interior creature comforts. All that you really bought was a front axle, a chassis, and a cab. So there we go. And then we got the Carrera Pan America. So never even heard of it. One of the most important competitions in the Mexican motorsports calendar. Lasts 7 days and covers 1,864 miles. Created in 1950, it disappeared 5 years later before being revived in 1988. Right. Beautiful. Swedish driver Stig Blomqvist, winner of the 1984 World Rally Championship, also tried his luck in the Panamericana. This is him in 1955 Studebaker, in which he finished in 4th place. Blimey. Bloody Stig Blomqvist finished in 4th place. There must have been some good drivers up front. Sure. So there we go. So that's pack 40, and as I say, we've already covered the building of the tyre and other versions. So what we'll do is we'll get this into our lovely neat box that DeAgostini give us, and that will be it for this one. That'll be 40 issues. I reckon you can get 40 issues in. Yes, you can. 40 issues, nice and snug. The snugger they are, the flatter they'll stay. So there we go. So there's 40 issues. So now we'll have to start on a new one, I think. There's a lovely image on the back end there of our model. On the side we've got the Ford Mustang showing there for the spine, on the front end of the model there on the front. So that's it for pack 40. Let's have a look at what we've got in pack 41. Okay then guys, pack 41. What have we got in here? So we have nice S550 Mustang. That's what you've just heard. This is actually what I've got now in Grabber Blue. It's not a Super Snake. I wish it was, but it's not. It's just an ordinary S550 GT. So the special performance parts cost a minimum of $50,000 on top of the normal car. Jeez, it's still a bargain because they're amazing. That was the first Super Snake I ever saw, the old GT500, the S197 GT500, and yeah, they were absolutely amazing. And they got a proper noisy supercharger as well. I can't remember the name of the supercharger these had in them now. Oh, does it say in here? They were well, they got wheelwood brakes on them. That's a shame. I can't remember the name of the. Somebody will say in the comments the name of the supercharger that was fitted in that. Proper noisy they were. Okay, so here we have wheel assembly. Now I've already done this, so what we're going to do, we're just going to skate over this because I've already assembled the wheel. Here it is. You've seen me do this a million times before, well, 3 times before. And yeah, we've got this, the valve there. Don't forget to super glue that in. And then we've got the studs there pressed in at the back, and then all those holes are drilled and not drilled and tapped, they're just tapped and screwed together. So that's the wheel assembled. We've done that, as I say before. And then what we've got to do is fit this wheel to the car. So we've got the car here. Now if you remember, back in pack 37 was it? I can't remember now. When we actually fitted the wheel, they give us, you've got this little Shelby center cap here with a magnet. You've got this hole in here, and they give you these tiny little screws which go in the end of the axle to hold that wheel on, and you've got about 3 threads engagement. So what I've done, I've actually decided to change it, and I've got a, I think it's a DSO2 screw. Alright, and I've drilled out the end of the axle. I've drilled out the end and tapped it deeper because these just, I don't think they're adequate. You go in, and the thing is you can't tighten the screw up anyway, because if you do the wheel won't turn, and then you sort of get it, it's just not enough. You can see there, I mean the screw is tiny. So what I'm doing, I'm using this DSO2 screw. So we can get this up on its side like that. We can make sure the brake drum's like that, or the brake back plate is like that. So we'll put that with the, so we've got that there with the slot there. On the back of the wheel you can see we've got a tab that's going to go into that slot. So what we'll do, we know that's in line with that spoke there, so we'll orientate the wheel, drop the wheel down on, and that falls into the slot. And then I've got this, as I said, I've got this DSO2 screw with its with a washer. I can put that in there and screw that in. Okay, and if I tighten it, as you see, the wheel can hardly turn. That's okay. Alright, so that's my recommendation. I've used the DSO2 screws. I've got spares. These are all the spare screws you've built up while you're building the model. So you've got plenty in there. And what I've basically done, as I say, is drilled them out 2mm, tapped out M2.3, and then put the DSO2 screws in there. That's the repair. If you do get away with using those, then great. But I personally think they're too short. They were okay in the front. I think maybe the stub axle was sticking a bit more out in the front, but certainly on the other side, as soon as I felt any resistance to the screw, it just pulled the threads, because there was only about 2 threads engaged. So if you do have a problem, there's the result. Get your spare DSO2 screw and stick that in there, and then we're going to put that magnetic cap on. Job done. And that is pack 41 completed. So let's have a look at pack 42. Okay then guys, pack 42. I love the sound of that V8. Right, what we got in here? We are looking at the 2001 Mustang GT Bullet. Lovely car, beautiful car. I'd have one of those if I could. Love them. Love that front end. Really do love them. I mean, the S550 is a far better looking car, but I do like the look of that as a car. Forget that it's a Mustang, I just love the look of it. So it was available in black, blue, and most popularly green, the colour of the car driven by Steve McQueen. They seem to do a bullet of every version, so yeah, very nice. So there we've got the parts we're going to be looking at, and then going over the page here, Paul Newman, great guy, ended up in Datsun, some beautiful Datsun cars he built. So as well as being a famous movie star, Paul Newman was an accomplished racing driver, as was Steve McQueen, wasn't he? A passion for cars. In 1979 he finished second in the Le Mans 24 Hours of Le Mans. Look at him there, a happy guy. Look at those old injector bodies, bloody hell. That's when race cars were race cars and men were men, not like today, eh? All electronic and blooming, yeah. Paul Newman, seen here in the movie winning, sorry, 1969. Live life to the full. He was one of the world's greatest movie stars, an accomplished racing driver, co-owner of the Newman-Haas IndyCar team, and co-founder of the Newman's Own Food Company, which donates all its net profits to charity. And here he is in a 280ZX Turbo, ZX Turbo if you're in the UK. There he is there, getting out of his Ferrari. He was a lovely chap, wasn't he? Just like Steve McQueen. And then we got NASCAR. It was the early days of NASCAR. Beautiful, beautiful racing. Love it. It says a great spectacle. It certainly is. Then we've got a Dodge Charger. Not sure what those cars are. It's a Ford. Is that a Fairlane? Fairlane or a Galaxy? I'm not sure. Anyway, there we go. So there's our magazine looking at. Let's have a look at what we're going to be doing build wise. So we have pack 42. I forgot what it was there. Pack 42. What have we got in here? We have a plastic bag with a wheel arch by the look of it, and some screws. So we have a wheel arch, some cardboard, and then we have a little bag of screws. So we're going to be using 3 of those because they always give us 1 spare. And these are die-cast screws, so they're going to be DS, yes, they're DSO2, 2.3 by 4. So we may have some tapping to do unless I've already done it. So we've got the wheel arch here, all looking cool. We've got our screws, so what we need now is our floor. So we need something to screw it to, and there it is. As you can see there, we've got both the wheels on now. We've got most of our exhaust system going there. We've got all our suspension in, all done. You can see the rear end is really starting to come together. So we're going to drop this wheel arch on. I'm just looking. Yes, I have. I have already tapped the threads in here. M2.3, so that's good. So this is basically going to drop down over the top. And as you can see, we've got these raised posts on here. Let's get the light on for you guys. We've got these raised posts on here. Okay, and they're going to go into these recesses. So that's going to drop down on there like that. That's going to drop down like that. He says, there we go, it does fit. There you go. It just needs a bit of a squeeze that we were minded. It depends how your wheel arches come out of the mould. But maybe do that one first. Nope. That's really strange. If you try and put it together, you can see here that one doesn't want to go in. That one's misaligned. So if I give it a little push, it goes in. Okay. Just like that. Alright. There we go. So it's nothing, you're not breaking anything, it's not going to damage anything. So we've got these screws, so we'll put one in the middle first. And because it's already positioned, I will just tighten these down straight away. Okay. And you can see they're going in very easy. It's because I've tapped them with threads. If you're not tapping your threads, then you will be putting a little bit more effort into getting the screws in than I am. There we go. And then that one can go in there. There we go. Right. So that's that. All done. So happy with that. And that is it for pack 42 and for part 19, isn't it? So I'll see you all soon for part 20, which will be pack 43. Thank you for watching. Bye for now.